Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another Braaaaaaaaaping Wednesday. So today I'm next to my 1983 Honda CR60R in all its glory. It was an awesome bike. I only got to ride it a little bit as a kid, but at least I got to ride it in Karachi, Pakistan, Mexico City, Texas is when I got it. I got to ride it in Florida a little bit when I was in middle school. But yeah, it was basically in storage because of my father's job and traveling around the world. So I didn't get to ride it as much as he probably planned for me to. And oh well, that's how it is. Can't relive the past, but it was a lot of fun. And that's why today I really appreciate riding on the dirt and dual sport riding, adventure riding. So I kind of want to talk about the progression of, I guess, where I'm at in riding. Where is Meeker Extreme at with riding? Where does he plan to go? And, I started basically riding dirt when I was 34, coming back to it. From street, I was riding street bikes. But 34, coming back into riding dirt. And so I got a Honda, 2001 Honda XR650R. Still have it. You see me with it in the videos. I think it's on its third incarnation if I count when I got it. Now the kid had it set up for more super motard, or he was starting to set up as more super motard. Came with rims and tires and all that good stuff, which I eventually took a long time for me to do it because they were actually really nice rims, really nice hubs to sell them, because it was like, that's $600 just hanging on my wall in the garage that I do not use. So I sold those on ADV Rider. I guess that guy is happy. I think it was a guy in California, kid that bought them. And yeah. So I got a XR650R because I knew coming from a Yamaha FZ1, a 2001, that I would want something with power, because used to that on the street. And having some dirt experience way in the past and at various stages, really broken up, I had an idea to ride, and dirt really didn't scare me. I used to take when I had a Ninja 250, I would take it down dirt roads and some trails, got it stuck in Tennessee in some clay. Yeah, that was fun. That's the first time I learned clay packs up under a low fender. Using a stick and digging it out for like 2 hours. That was awful. But I took my FZ1, I would take that down dirt roads here in Colorado. I went I went down on a road out south of Yoder that goes to Yoder to Boone, Colorado. And it's an old pavement, asphalt, and then it turns to dirt. And on the map, it just looks like this little teeny part. And so I was coming back from the south to the north, figuring I'll take that, so I'd stay off the interstate. And I can make better time on a back road. Knowing cops don't really patrol those back roads as much. So I'm going pretty fast. I see that it's going to turn dirt. I was expecting that from the map. But hey, no big deal. Well, it kept going and going. So I raised my speed from like 30 miles an hour to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70. And pretty soon I was doing probably around 70 on this dirt road. And it was kind of pretty soft, rocky type dirt. And eventually I had a few oops where I slowed down, but then I would get comfortable and I would speed back up. And eventually I got stuck in this rut, and it just took me down to the ditch off to the right that was like this huge V. It was as deep as the bike. Somehow I kept the bike up. I rode it down and I got ejected off to the side. The bike stayed up because it was a deep ditch, so the bike was pretty much standing up. No damage to the bike at all. I got ejected. I did a roll and, got back up, and the bike was pretty much standing up, so I didn't really have to pick it up too far. It was just a little over. I just got on it, started it right away because, electric e-start. And I'm looking at this ditch how do I get out? And I managed to get it out, but I left a huge rut going up the side of that ditch. And it was very hard. I got it out, and I was so out of breath, and had the kickstand down. And sure enough, the only car I saw the whole time out on that stretch, just a little old guy in a pickup truck. Hey, you need any help? Everything okay? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. You know, nothing he could do. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just resting right now. And he continued on, but that was the only car I saw, and that was kind of one of my earlier ventures on dirt in Colorado. So anyways, go back to getting the XR650R. I got the XR650R because of the power, mainly. And my brother-in-law had just bought one, so it was like, well, okay, he's the mechanic in the family, so if I buy one and he could then help me work on it and stuff, right? It helped. So, which he did. So we got it, you know, he dual sported his, I dual sported mine. I mean, I spent a ton of money. I spent like $2,400 on the bike. It came with the super motard rims. I eventually, not that long ago, a couple of years ago, sold those for like $600. Maybe it was 3 years ago, $600. So, you know, I've recouped some. So what's that, like $1,800 for a $1,800 for my bike when I factor in that. But you know, I put like $3,000 into my bike setting it up. You know, I got the Electro Sport dual sport kit because it was all in one. It was like supposed to be plug and play. I put that on. It wasn't plug and play. In fact, they had the pins all wrong in their cable. And my brother-in-law had to go back through, and we had to repin everything. So it wasn't plug and play. So that was a big waste of like $800, I think is what it cost. But you know, I had the battery and the headlight all in one, and turn signals, and you had the rear turn signals, and everything's there. The controls on the handlebars for the lights and the horn, and it had a horn and this and that. So it had everything. So it seemed like a good idea. It seemed like well worth the $800. It wasn't meant for hard riding off road. It eventually just crapped out, and that in itself had he gutted it. My brother-in-law gutted it, rewired the bike at a point, and we just used that as like a shell. But the thing was falling apart. So not that long ago, a year ago, I took everything off and was like, we're starting over, bare bones. Hand signals. I can use hand signals for turning in Colorado. I don't care about turn signals. Horn. When do you use a horn? I don't ride on the road much. Honk, honk. That's my horn. Okay. I've never had a cop say, "Where's your horn?" You know, want to check any of this stuff. And I've been pulled over twice in my town, and I think both those times it was on my gas. One about the temporary plate when I got the bike, paper plate, and I had it shoved in my backpack because, you know, there's nowhere to put that on a dirt bike, and it's just going to fall off in the woods, right? So I had it in my backpack while I was waiting for the actual tag. And then the other time was because of my brake light and tail light on the gas happened to go out. I knew the tail light went out, but I thought the brake light still worked, so I was just kind of randomly hitting my brake. And it was nighttime, and sure enough, the cop pulled me over. He just gave me a warning. Each time it was just a warning, like, hey, don't do that or something. Okay, whatever. Not a big deal. So I've never been pulled over. No one's ever asked, oh, your dot tires or this or that. So I don't worry about dot tires. I don't worry about if I have a horn. And, oh no, you know, what a tragedy that I do this. I'm such a rebel. No, I'm not. But my point is, I don't worry about that stuff. I guess the day somebody really causes a stink, I mean, at the worst, it's a fix-it ticket. Maybe I have to pay something, or I have to fix it before a court date, whatever. It's probably not a big deal. So you decide on that for yourself, but I just don't worry about stuff like that. But anyways, get back to, I have a Honda XR650R and the power and riding the trails. I was doing a bunch of single track and, well, a lot of single track. And people were always like, wow, you're going to take that bike on this single track, that single track, whatever. I'm a lot younger at that point, a lot more energetic and willing to go out there and ride hard stuff on a big bike, and that was my only bike. Well, finally, I was just like, I'm getting so wore out. I go ride a single track, and I'm dead. I don't have good joints as it is. Even right now, my hand just hurts. I have bad joints. Arthritis, who knows? I don't worry about it. It just hurts. I tend to tune it out. So I said, well, I'm going to go get a lighter bike. So I went and got a 2012 Gas EC300. Again, a 300 mainly because of the power. And love it. And that's great for the harder trails. A lighter bike. It's better set up for that. It's e-start, so I don't have to kick it. It's great. So I'm not wearing myself out as much, but man, so like 3 years have gone by since then. So I'm getting a little more sore when I go out, even when I go out for a light ride. I don't think people realize how I guess my joints really affect me. I go out for a light ride and I'm dead. I have to come home and pop like pain pills and stuff like aspirin and ibuprofen and stuff like that. And then I feel a lot better. So, and actually the best time I felt is when I had some actual real pain pills from the doctor. I forget what it was, but I forget why I had for something. I don't know. But man, I was like, wow, these are great. I made sure to actually take the whole bottle because I felt good. But I go out and ride and I get sore. So now my next progression, my thinking process is adventure bikes. I definitely want an adventure bike. I want to do bigger point-to-point rides. I definitely want to get out there and really do an adventure ride properly. I want to do the Trans-America Trail. I want to do maybe to Alaska or Canada at least. Go visit the awesome players. Or, just do something. Do some big point-to-point rides. I just think that would be awesome. I realize with a big bike I'll be sticking more to graded roads and not so much hardcore trails, but I know I push myself, so I would still push myself and push the bike. So with that said, I'm actually looking at getting a Honda African Twin. So we'll see what happens there. So I might have some exciting news to tell you guys, but let's not get too excited right now. It's still in the planning stages. But after that, I've kind of have a progression. I would love to get a Ural with a sidecar. I know some of you might say, wow, that's kind of getting away from motorcycles. I don't know. It'd be cool. So I could take my daughter with me, right on in the sidecar, or, well, my dog's getting too old, but yeah, I'd take my kid with me. That would be great. I think that would be a lot of fun. And, you get the two-wheel drive version and do stuff. And, from there, I don't know. I really don't know. I think as she progresses, and if she likes to even try a motorcycle, I'm sure she'll try it. Now, whether she sticks with it. So we'll probably start with my daughter on a Osset, get a little one, so she can try the electric trials. I'll probably get a trials bike, play around. I don't know if I'd like it or not. I don't know if I could stand that long. I don't. But they look like loads of fun. And I'm thinking right now I would probably get the Beta Trials bike and get the seat that goes in the middle, which is also an extra gas tank, bigger gas tank, or adds more gas to the bike. And then that way have a little sit-down spot, although it would look kind of uncomfortable because it's still dipped down. But it's something you can kind of sit down if you're just tooling on a little road to get back to the single track, the forest road. Or if you really, really get tired if you're out there. But, yeah, that's kind of my progression with the motorcycles. And I don't know from there. Probably disappoint a lot of people, but I would like a side-by-side, especially if Colorado allows you to plate them and you can ride on roads. I'd love to get a side-by-side because, again, I could enjoy the outdoors with my daughter and not buy a Jeep, which is, I don't know, not as, to me, not as fun. they're fun, just not to me, not my cup of tea. But I could then, connect trails and stuff. That would be ideal. And I know at a certain point I probably won't be riding, guys. It is what it is, and I don't think I will be a 65-year-old riding dirt bikes. Not with my problems. So I'm going to enjoy it now, and I just figured I'd talk about something on Braaaaaaaping Wednesday and kind of show you my old bike here. I think it's pretty cool, and who knows, probably when I get up there in age, then I'll probably sell it. I doubt my daughter will ever want it. It doesn't mean anything to her, per se. Yep, eventually, but I think for a time being it's gonna stay right here, and then I'm thinking about moving it upstairs to this big ledge we have, and buying a center stand, just to put this on, bolt the center stand down to the ledge, and then put this on there, and yeah, and just have it as a living room art piece, if you will. The ledge is pretty big, so eventually, if I could, I wouldn't mind getting like maybe a couple other bikes. I could probably fit 2 more bikes. And I don't know if my wife would like that or not, but it'd be pretty cool if I could do that eventually. So anyways, guys, hey, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and check out next week's Braaaaaaaping Wednesdays.